just decided to do a live map creation. I'm running Rime of the Frostmaiden at the moment, Dungeons and Dragons 5e adventure. So I put a call out to the DM's Facebook group there. Anyone want a map? And first in best dressed, someone answered within about 1.5 minutes, and it's a Banshee encounter in the woods. So I'm just jumping to. I've got called up D&D Beyond, so I'll just have a quick look at it. I'm pretty sure this is to do with Lonelywood. I've run this, but my players were asleep in a forest in a Lehman's tiny hut, and to me, Banshee whales go through Lehman's huts. Okay, nutshell, Lonelywood, Lucky Liar, blah blah blah. Yes, bloody moose. I'm not a fan of these talking animals in Icewind Dale. I think it's a little bit too Disney, a little bit too Scar. Tracking the moose. Oh, here we go. Oh, right, Lonely Forest Encounters. Seeing it for any cues, or if I just go berserk. Banshee's a spectral remnant. It wields a spectral longbow. Now, I allowed my players to retain this bow, and so put a +1 bow that does d6 necrotic damage, Reaper. And so I put it into the adventure for them. There's not a lot of magic items there. Okay, there's only one Banshee haunting the forest if it's destroyed. So, okay, this is pretty good. We can just, I can go berserk here. So I'm just going to get rid of D&D Beyond. Okay, remove. Okay, and then you can see I'm using Flowscape here, and it's whenever you open it, it pre-generates something, and it's completely random. I don't know if you can preset it to not do that, but all I do is just clear plants, and here we are. I've already got this little snowy landscape. Use the normal keys it would use for moving around in computer games, WSAD, and then E and Q gives you up and down. You can use your mouse as well. Alrighty, let's have a look. What terrain? A spooky woods. I'm thinking it'll be pretty much not up and down. It's woods, so I'm just going to use. This looks pretty good. There's some peaks and little gullies and things here, but otherwise it's pretty flat. So I'm going to use that. I'm getting rid of the snow for now, and sculpting. So I want the ground. Yeah, this is actually not too bad anyway, but ground number 1 I'm going to change to really dark, and ground number 2 same. Okay, I'll leave it as that. So there we go. Riverbed. I'm not actually going to have a riverbed, so I better just give it something. Right, so there we go. Alright, now down the bottom, this is sort of like interconnected lakes or streams or spanning lakes. Now I can switch that to ice, lava, whatever, water. Oh, crikey. Get rid of the lava. Okay, so that'll do me for the land. What else going to do? I'm just going to increase the terrain size. So it's there we go. I have to pull back now because it's getting bigger and bigger. Make it a big map. It's in a forest, so they probably wouldn't have too much of a range, especially if you make it misty. That's pretty good. And I'm going to bring the height of the land up just to get rid of that water. There's other ways you can do it, but that'll do. So now I've got my gulfs, and let's see, now the snow. Bring it up here, there we go. Okay, and okay, yeah, there we go. A little bit more snow. Okay, so I'll just pan back so I get the bigger area. Right. Starting out, shrubbery. This looks pretty good. You can see the blue circle is how big an area it scatters. I don't want it so big. I'll try it anyway. Oh, this is not too bad. Making some bushes. We can zoom in. You can see it blooming. I'm just putting it on top of these ridges. Leave the bottom to be maybe just less fertile earth or something. Maybe there's streams before Eswindale was fully frosted over. That's pretty good. And Banshee, so I might make it, let's put some flowers. Oh, grasses, yep, this will do. Sedge of some sort. Scroll in and have a look at how it's coming up. You can hardly see it. Oh, better. You can see it just randomly blooming around the place, giving a bit of a mix. That's good. On top of over here. Going fast here, so I'm not too. Make it smaller, just to put it on here. A few other of these ridges. Cool. Down the bottom of that gully maybe a bit. Great. Now some scatter logs. See what happens. Oh, yep. Let the logs fall where they may. And this will, if they hit something, they'll roll down a hill and fall naturally. There we go. Great. Looking a bit foresty already. Chuck a few down the back there. Okie doke. What is this? Little twigs. Alright, now I'll put some other interesting stuff. Maybe. Make it a bit bigger. Put a rocky outcropping there. Scroll through some more interesting stuff. There's another good one. Here. Just a bit of height. There. Now I'll just, it's sort of, that just drops these in here, so I'm going to select them and just move them down a bit, sink them in so that they're definitely not going to look like they're floating. Okay. Trees. Got some dead ones. I'll fill this one up with some dead trees, maybe a few around there. Maybe this is the Banshee area, some dead forest. That's looking good. Okay, and we might move some. Whoop. Put some live ones. Whoa, that's enormous. Whoops, a daisy. This is the bugger about this. The rubber rubs out everything generally. So I want pine. Let's just try. Do a test run. Nope, don't like those. Ski ones. Oi, oh jeez. Try again. Yeah, it's better. Okay, so now we've got a coniferous forest here. Great. Oh, this looks interesting. Dead trees. I'm gonna zoom in. Let's have a look. Great. So you can see how this looks. All very, now this is all well and good. Whoop. Now I could put ice in here and make it completely frozen. I'll show you. Ice. Oh. I cannot. I'm not going to do it because if I lower this the terrain down again, we're going to have all these floating trees. So pull back. Now let's have a look. You can see what I'm going to do is get in here behind these trees. This way you can take a screen capture for your players. We'll get in this valley here, zip around. Wow. Holy moly, that looks good. Creepy. And what I'll do here first is change the weather. This is a little bit more frost margin-y, even better. No. I'll go this one, I think. Now, if we don't like the look of that part of the sky, I can spin it. No, I'll leave it how it was. Okay. Okay. Let's see, height of the sun. Where is it? Where is the sun? Aha. There it is. Alright, I'm going to get it. The sun never really comes up, so I'm going to put it still at ground level, but still high enough. But I'll swing it around. So it's casting some shadows, so the sun's coming up at the back. But I want it far less intense. I want it temperature, so there's cool temperature, just more blues. If it's a lava map or something, so there we go. And let's put some Aurora Borealis in there. Ambient light. I don't really want them to see everything. Oh, that's not bad. I'm going to bring the sky brightness down. Okay, this is getting much more frost margin-y. Wow, alright. So, I'm going to drop it down. Well, you can just go to walking mode and it drops you in there, and then you get around like a computer game. I'm just having fun now. Right, this will do. I want the Aurora Borealis in the middle. I'll get out of walking mode so I can just levitate sort of thing. And down a little. Come in. Okay, so I'm going to screen capture that. And I'll load that as a map. Now you can just go options, map, and just go ortho. And there's your regular top-down map, and you can throw a grid on there if you want. I don't use grids when I put them in Roll20 because Roll20 puts its own grids in there. And I don't really like, you lose a lot of the coolness from these maps when you look straight down. So I'm going to go here, jump up. Great. Come back. Okay. And by putting on a bit of an angle, gets a bit more interesting. I want to come around this way and have the living trees behind me at the base. So the banshee might be encountered more among those rocks or something. Gives a bit of Philly just getting the right. That's a pretty good one. Before I do, because sometimes the light affects you just a little bit differently. And it's a little bit better. You might want to have your screen capture just for the player's view from the ground level different. Otherwise they can be a bit too dark. Okay, I'm going to bring the sun a bit higher. So that you do that, and at least it's a bit more playable. But I can bring the sun around behind. That was probably actually pretty good as it was. Direction. And I might put a bit more light in there. Whoops. That's about. I'll screen capture that. And I'm going to just chop that into a square in paint. Very low tech. And then just make sure that when I do the capture, I cut it into multiples of 75 or 70 so that you know exactly how many squares to make it. So I'm going to do the screen capture and save it and load it. And what is it? That's been about 10 minutes with me buggerizing around a little. It'll be on Facebook shortly. Enjoy. Flowscape, recommended.